DrMC Buck.
3, 2, 1, and pills. Let's launch it off tonight, JB. Let's do this.
Kick off our final regular season bracket before we talk about the December Speed Championships. We'll talk more about that later on. But right now, it is interesting boards for both players. A lot of scattered area virus-wise for Savage. For Ook, not a lot on the bottom, so he's really going to have to cut through the middle of that board, meaning he's really going to be focusing on lower drop time, Swang.
He's got a lot of clumped reds and blues at the top part of his board, and it's pretty indicative of him trying to possibly go for a lot of horizontals, and he does an amazing drop cross to start things off here. He's taking a slight lead over Savage and just making quick work of this level 6 here.
Right. And while combos, as we saw this past weekend, are a very important part of versus, they're just as important here, except you're really not going to see anything too elaborate. Nothing more than a 2, maybe a 3 combo, as these players looking for efficiency over quantity.
And as you're saying that, Savage is absolutely making a terror with this level herself. She's down to her final 9 viruses and is left with mostly reds and blues right here, but she's going to make quick work and roaring into level 7 quite shortly there, JB.
Yeah, 7 to go for both players. A good combo for Ook. He clears out blue vertically, but it looks like he may have aligned himself horizontally to clear that blue out in row 2. Meanwhile, Savage has a double blue setup along the bottom and is free and clear here. Looks like she's going to go for that red last or maybe drop it down, and that's the play there. Savage out first at 1:28.
Yeah, she prioritized it very well, got everything there. She had a couple different options, kept it flexible. But it looks like she's going to be making quick work of this level 7. Kind of has an interesting gorge in her third column there, and it's going to be interesting whether she decides to drop some pills down there or swim things down to the bottom to clear up the board here.
But a double blue is going to be very optimal for her, as she could just throw that down that column 3 well. Meanwhile, Ook in a bit of trouble early here on 7, in danger of topping out. Thankfully, no garbage will come down, and he's not immediately clearing that blue garbage. I think he was waiting for the blue-yellow. He did get it. 27 to go, but Swang Savage absolutely roaring through 7 right now.
Yeah, she's making a quick turn with level 7. And it's also worth noting that, Ook is a medium player, so the players can both play on both high, medium, or low, so they're choosing. Most all of us play either on the medium or the high speed. Ook was in danger of topping, as you said, but luckily with his medium speed, he is able to maneuver the pills down. But he's since recovered from that and is just in dire needs of reds to just continue to open his board up.
Yeah, that right side looking a bit clogged up. And speaking of a need of red, Savage has a ton of options here. Looks like she might, she's going to have to get creative here because she can't really combo out. She's going to have to clear the blue garbage on top of that row 8, but a double red, huge. So just needing a couple of blues, she'll be out. She's going to get the double blue out at a sub 3 pace halfway through this run.
Great time, and I think a lot of that's the gold standard a lot of players are aiming for is at sub 3. So Savage is well on her way with a really smoking fast time for this first game of the match here. Making quick work of it, dropping things down efficiently, and everything's really clustered at that top portion of her board there, JB.
Right. Yeah, and Savage already again going to town, and she's going to get this small yellow surge, getting a sweet tea. Ook's big pain point, Swang, as not there anymore because he cleared it out. There was that red on top of the yellow virus in 8, but he's gotten it taken care of. So really just needing a yellow everywhere. He's going to drop that other piece down to get that final red and out at 346, but looks a little disappointed in himself here as he's down by a little over 2/3 of a level.
Yeah, he wasn't too pleased with his level 7 result here, but it's nothing that he can't quite overcome with this here. So he's just going to shake it all off and get back into it, and he's doing that just as well as he needs to. We're looking at about a 20 virus game between these two players.
Yep, and Savage down to her final 7 already and keeping that board state pretty low. Can set up for a drop fat log if she wants, but really needing some sort of red help. She's going to get, or yellow help rather. She does get it, and really just needs to start figuring out how to attack this bottom quadrant of the screen here. But Ook starting to go through here, 24 viruses to go to 4 for Savage.
Yeah, just needs yellows and reds on her side. Ook has a couple of different opportunities set up. Gonna get a nice drop T into it to just combo everything down there. And meanwhile, his board's looking pretty clean to make the rest of his work at level 8 there. Dropping his reds and yellows down and is just in need of, a little bit of a controller issue going on with Ook. I'm not really sure what's going on there, JB.
I don't either, but Ook definitely looked like that wasn't supposed to happen. So we'll get
Oh,
sort of a report on what's going on there. But we see, this is sort of cascading for Ook right now. We'll kind of get an update and see what's going on there. But Savage was out of 9 with about 4:42 on her clock and cruising through 9 at the moment. 24 viruses to go. I don't know if the controller issue would have been too great of an impact, but or if there is one. So we'll find out what's going on Ook's side. But this isn't a board you want to encounter in competitive play.
no, certainly not. But luckily, we still have plenty of Dr. Mario tonight. So no matter what happens at the end of it, he still has some games left in him. And I think the hardest thing that a lot of players are trying to really overcome is, as Ook has said, misdrops breed misdrops. And whether it's a controller issue or not, it can get in your head whether or not the plays were intentional or not. And so I think Ook is going to clear up the rest of his board here, and next game will be definitely better for him for sure.
For sure, I do agree with that. Savage made a couple of misplays on her board 9, but now really starting to clean up that right side, needing a little bit of blue help to try to get access to both red and yellow on that right side. Good horizontal clear takes care of that mess. So Savage now really just looking, her biggest problem is going to be that yellow virus in row 3. She can't really clear it horizontally. She can't really clear it vertically. So it's going to really come down to some key decision making and how RNG treats her. Right now, going to get that bracket clear and at least expose that yellow. Ook out at a 647 going into 9.
And Savage is prioritizing the pills properly to make it all. She's going to drop that yellow down, as you mentioned, to clear that up. So not really a paying point for her at this point, but just down to her final 4, and now down to her final 2. Just needs reds and yellows to finish up this level.
And a fortuitous yellow-blue and the reds. That's going to get Savage out at a 7:04. Great time. She will take game number 1.
Excellent pace for her. Excellent game playing from her. And looks like Ook realizes, he's going to finish up the match. He realizes out. He's going to throw in the towel and say, you know what? We're going to go on to game 2, and game 2 will be the better game for me.
For sure. We just want to verify that Ook's controller is okay. I don't know if there was an issue there. I think we'll get word on that. He is ready. Okay, so no issues. I think maybe just some mental mistakes there. We really don't know, but we're gonna get ready for game 2. We're just waiting on a timer reset from Ook.
Ook getting some clarity in his mind, very important. Staying cool, calm, and collected. I think it's very important to make sure that when the misplays happen, that they are addressed, and Ook is just taking a breather to reset his timer, reset his mind going into this game 2.
And the thing that I was calling some matches at Classic World Tetris, what's interesting between those two games, one mistake in Tetris can end your game. In speed play, it's just a hindrance, and one mistake you can easily work around. So it's a little bit different. But we've got readies, we've got a countdown, and we go 3, 2, 1, pills right now. Game number 2, Savage looking to close the door, Ook looking to force a decider.
Ook's starting the timer about 2 seconds ahead of Savage. Not going to really make a difference. It's really whenever the players finish up the rounds is what ultimately happens. So if the timer is a little bit, if there's a little bit of a discrepancy, it's independent per what is being reported here. But meanwhile, Ook is getting things set up, clearing things down, and looks like he's just going to need a lot of yellows and reds to continue advancing his board here, JB.
Yeah, and Savage has been kind of tucking pills in, getting clears, but needs a lot of blue help. She's going to get a little bit of clear and then a drill down clear. That's going to put her down to 18, but Ook keeping this competitive. He's at 19 here as these players approach their first minute. Ook with a nice combo and then another nice combo, clearing a little bit of extraneous garbage as well, and he's going to get a double. He's taking a big lead here.
Yeah, he's really prioritizing everything well. I mean, at this point, he's in dire need of yellows, but as soon as the yellows come, he's going to be able to get out of his board here. But he was just prioritizing things, getting doubles, getting triples, adding horizontals, dropping things down. I mean, he was playing it as brilliantly as you possibly could.
And Ook here really trying to set up, I think his big priority is this horizontal double that you see in row number 4. Meanwhile, Savage is going to drill down, get 3 viruses off the board, and Ook just not getting what he needs here as he's going to the right side, trying to reduce drop time. But you just see that massive spire of anything that isn't yellow. Very frustrating. This double yellow, very fortuitous for Ook. He's down to his final 3, and he's going to drop that big stack down. He is going to have to combo out, but that clear really helped him a lot. Savage out first in a minute 40, but look at this swung, a minute 45 for Ook.
Yeah, it's neck and neck there, and that combo that Ook cascaded down. The versus player in me was like, "Whoa, this is Christmas to my eyes right here." So it was quite amazing to see. But now Ook is presented with almost the same issue as going on for last level. This is in dire need of a bunch of yellows to get his board opened up.
And a dim-wit or Packy-esque sort of combo by Savage Octagon. Lightning Rod dropping double red down, getting 5 viruses off the board. Those are the kind of speed clears you like to see. And you try to do it with just minimal pieces. Savage down to 17. Ook also at 17. So both these players really, really playing their hearts out.
Yeah, they're doing the best that they could to open this up and really make this as competitive as possible. This is exactly what I want to see for the first match of the evening here. Meanwhile, it looks like Savage is going to clear up a good portion of her board and is just left with just reds and blues to get out of here.
And she's doing something really smart, trying to keep everything in the center of the board. So if she gets pieces she doesn't need, she can kind of discard them off to the side. And it looks like Savage setting up for a triple horizontal. She just needs that blue off the board. Good undertuck there. Ook down to his final 5, and he's playing pretty efficiently as well. Just needing some yellows to help. He's got that red ready to go. Savage out first, though, at about a 302.
Yeah, they're doing some really efficient plays to make sure the drop time is minimized, especially with the final bit of viruses over there. Savage did an undertuck, as you mentioned, which every bit of drop time is quite essential. Ook got a 318 and is ready to roar for this level. But as I said earlier, the drop time is really important, and both these players were minimizing as much as they can because every pill fragment does add up.
15 frames or about a quarter of a second. So you drop 4 rows, that's a second that you're not doing anything. And that's a second you could be doing something. That's kind of how that speed run mentality works. 24 viruses to go, though, for both players as Ook storming out. Savage had a bit of a struggle when you have that top line of all viruses, and then you get a piece that's not helpful. That can slow you down, and Savage managed to work around it, and she's needing a little bit of blue help, but Swang, it looks like Ook now holding on to a slight advantage here as we're 4 minutes in.
Yeah, Ook opened the board up with an amazing sweet tea a little bit earlier and really just chomped away at this board. Meanwhile, just doing very efficiently, very quick and clean Dr. Mario, fundamentals of it, and just doing really quick work of that. Just a couple more blues. I think he might be, horizontally clearing that red and just is left with blues and yellows for the last part of his board here, JB.
And I'm thinking with that blue yellow, you might have laid that down to the yellow facing. You still would have had the opportunity on the next piece, the double red, to get the horizontal clear. Now Ook's a little bit handcuffed, and he's going to be forced to somehow get that blue off the board. And looks like he's just going to try to open that gap up and maybe punch that down horizontally, and that's what he does. 5 viruses to go for Ook, 2 for Savage here as we're nearing the end of 8.
Yeah, Ook had a couple of different things here. He knows it's really down to the wire and making some quick micro adjustments. Just looking to open up this yellow to expose that blue at the very bottom, and exposes it all. And so now he's basically free and clear to get the rest of his board here advanced.
And Ook finally getting that blue help he needed. I think chat was asking for blues, and he got it out at a 514. He is going to be behind the 8 ball a little bit here, down by 11 viruses. And I'm looking at Savage's board swung, and this is a speedrunner's dream. A lot of tight clears and a lot of double clears.
The reds and yellows are all clustered in the middle, and there's blues scattered on the outside borders of her board. So any reds and yellows are going to be sent over. And with the way that Savage has been playing, she's going to be able to really chomp away and just destroy this board with all the red yellow help here. Meanwhile, tucks it on down and is just placing things over ready to strategically clear out that yellow. back down.
Great combo
and
in the middle of the
there.
board by Ook. Huge combo in the middle of the board by Ook. Got about 5 viruses off the board. He is playing a split board now, which can be a little dicey, but he does have enough on either side where he should be able to address things. He's at 16, Savage is at 10, and this is a good play by Ook. It's getting to get him down to 12. He's down by 4, about 8 seconds behind as far as clear rate would go. And Savage down to her final 6, and she's set up really, really well, Swang.
Yeah, those are the last 2 there. I think Ook may have made a little bit of a misflip with that yellow-blue, which may have sealed the deal here as Savage gets her double blues, and it's out at 6:25, a really fast time.
Excellent time by Savage Octagon. So she is going to take a 2-0 sweep, and it looks like Ook's going to run this one out.
Yeah, this is a great run from Ook, considering the first one went the way it did here. So this is really good. Nothing to be ashamed with this here. Low 6, high 6, low 7. It's a great run still.
Yeah, you always want to be shooting for that, and Ook's going to get that last horizontal. And let's see if the RNG is going to cooperate, get him out just north of 7 minutes at a 7:03 for Ook the Librarian. A good time, but not enough as Savage takes it with a 6:25 and wins this match.